Still waiting. There we go.
Still waiting.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
How's everybody doing on this hot Tuesday afternoon?
Is it the 27th?
It's 27th.
It is the 27th. And it is 4 o'clock here in Alabama.
4 o'clock.
Why did we choose 4 o'clock?
I don't know how this came about, Brooke. I have no idea.
I'm wondering if 4 o'clock's even a good time.
I have no idea. You want to change it?
I don't know. We'll ask the people.
I don't know what time. If we change it, though, then all our other buddies that do live streams, we got to double check with them.
That's right. That's right. And, well, I'll leave it alone for right now.
Somebody said it was 5 in St. Augustine. I would like to be in St. Augustine. I believe I'd get in the water.
You think?
I think.
I might get in the water. I was thinking, East Coast, Florida, they're an hour ahead of us.
Yeah.
Of course, Central time, 4 o'clock. But then you got people on the West Coast that are
2 hours behind us.
So I don't know if 4 o'clock's good or not. Y'all tell us.
There was a reason why we did it.
I don't know why it was, but it won't be long before when we do these lives and we get done, it's going to be dark.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why we did it. Started doing it 4 o'clock because of the time.
Maybe. I'm not looking forward to that.
Doing it dark.
I mean, I kind of am, but I'm kind of not. I started thinking the other day, I was like, I put the animals up now.
Yeah.
Basically around 6 o'clock, 6:30, something like that. Well, when it gets dark early, I'm going to put them up at, say, 4:30. And so that means they're going to have 2 more hours of being put up because I'm not going to go get them out any earlier. So is that a good thing, or do I just wait till it gets dark?
Oh, I see it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We shall see.
Oh, I think I'd wait till it gets dark.
You think it depends on how cold it is, too.
That's true, too.
If it's real cold outside, I'm going to say, I don't want to wait for the sun to go down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think Jamie goes live right after this.
She,
around 6.
I think it's,
is it 6 or 7?
Gosh, what does she call that?
What is it, Central Time or?
Yeah, they're Central Time. But what does she call that? Time Out Tuesday.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Time Out Tuesday. I had to think of it for a minute, but that doesn't indicate the time.
Time Out Tuesday.
I think it is about 6, so there's probably an hour break in between us and her.
Yeah.
I think. I could be wrong.
Could be wrong.
Got my trusted partner, Dee Dee, beside me.
I said Jamie's out of town.
Jamie's out of town, so we got to talk till 7 tonight.
Unless Lester's going to do Time Out Tuesday.
He might.
He could put a wig on. That wouldn't be out of the box for him.
I think I saw him in a wig not too long ago. But he might be with her.
He might be with her.
They might both be out of town. Don't know.
Unless they say Lester's doing Time Out Tuesday. He's supposed to do it at 7.
Well, we got plenty of time then.
We got plenty of time.
As long as he remembers what time it is.
Yeah.
What time it's supposed to be.
Reckon he can handle it?
Yeah, he can handle it.
Maybe he can handle it. I think it's hard doing by myself.
I was just thinking, I commend Jamie for doing them by herself because I would not be able to talk like you and I. Our lives are not revolved around comments.
Right.
Some people's are, but Jamie's aren't. I mean, she interacts with the audience, but she can come up with things to say without having to interact. And I couldn't do that if it was just me.
Yeah, no, it'd be tough. It was tough that time I did it. When you were out, I did it by myself. And I used to do the podcast by myself, but it wasn't live. Yeah. The podcast is just me talking, and I could edit out things and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you get hung up, and you kind of like,
Yeah, and especially if it gets in your head. It gets in your head that you don't have nothing to talk about, and then you start panicking there for a few minutes.
Yeah, and then you worry about, what are people going to think about me?
Oh, don't worry about that. Just worry about keeping people entertained.
I don't know if men think like that, but
start clicking off.
Yeah,
Lester's cooking for Time Out Tuesday. I wonder what he's cooking.
I'm going to tell you something. Now he's really done something. Because I told y'all how hard it is to cook and video.
Oh, yeah.
It probably didn't bother him, though.
It may not.
He
may be just putting a hot dog together. I mean, that wouldn't be hard.
It would if you didn't have all your ingredients together. I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's even hard freeze-drying candy corn.
I guess so. Which turned out great, by the way.
Did turn out great. I got really, really worried about freeze-drying the candy corn. Because when I thought about it, I immediately reached out to Catherine at G&G, who's freeze-dried a lot of things. She immediately tells me, you got to heat it in the oven. I said, I'm not freeze-drying candy corn if you got to preheat it in the oven.
Yeah.
I can't do all that. And so, well, I did some research and I found out that you can use your freeze dryer as an oven. You can let it preheat in the freeze dryer versus preheating in the oven. So I said to you guys, I said, this is either going to work or it's not going to work. And I really didn't know if it was going to or not. And lo and behold, it turned out. But I do think that you have to preheat it.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
That makes zero sense to me.
I feel so crazy every time I go to freeze dry candy because it's all so different.
Yeah.
Now, before the new software came on our machine, all you had to do was mash start. Now, I'm not saying that the new machines are more difficult. I'm saying that you have more options now and the ability to do things such as preheat your candy in your freeze dryer versus using it in your oven. I think that's why Catherine thought that, because before the update, you did have to preheat it in your oven.
Yeah.
If your freeze dryer didn't have the ability to heat. I mean, preheat, so to speak. It's complicated. So I had to call Catherine when I was going through my freeze drying process. I was like, is what my screen's supposed to look like? And I just feel a little like I don't know what I'm doing every time I go to do it. But then it turns out.
So far,
turn out.
Everything's turned out. I'm not say much everything dating back when we had got that thing
a long
time ago. It has turned out. It really has turned out good. The only thing, strawberries.
Yeah.
The fresh picked strawberries we've gotten are very intense.
The flavor comes out.
The flavor is extremely strong, and I don't care to eat those freeze dried.
Well, I was just fixing to say, I think that the majority of people that freeze dry things are doing it to reconstitute it later.
Correct.
And when reconstituted, it's just like a regular strawberry.
That's right.
But when it comes out and you try to taste it freeze dried.
Yeah.
And some people may say, well, why did you even freeze dry candy corn? Why would you do that? It's just the fact that it comes out different than it goes in.
Yeah, and it's got a little different taste.
It's different taste. Yeah. It's different texture. Cool. Is it going to be crunchy? Is it going to be, fall apart? Is it going to be stuck in your teeth?
Yeah.
And that's the fun of it.
That is the fun of it.
And some things are way better freeze-dried than they are in their regular state, taste-wise.
Well, you like figs freeze-dried better than fresh figs.
Oh, yeah, I sure do.
But
they almost took the skin off my mouth.
Yeah. I didn't care for the yogurt, of course. I was not a big fan of the yogurt, especially one in particular.
But I almost wonder if you wouldn't like it. It didn't taste right. It really didn't. I don't know what happened.
Now, the other thing that I didn't care for, and you didn't care for either, was watermelon.
Right.
Freeze-dried watermelon was not.
And I may have done something wrong.
It was more because watermelon holds so much water that when it got through freeze-drying, it was almost like a powder.
It was almost like it was nothing left.
And the flavor wasn't great. I think the water really dilutes it and gives it that. But if you reconstitute them, I don't think you can reconstitute the watermelon back.
I don't think so either.
It went down to nothing.
But have you ever heard the saying to don't eat watermelon before you go to bed because you'll wet the bed? And I think that's why, because there's so much water in it.
Yeah, it's a lot of water in water.
So if you're pulling the water out, then obviously.
Hence the name watermelon.
That's right, watermelon. You're making me want to go get a watermelon.
Oh, well, I got to let everybody know that I may be a great wordsmith, and I might be probably, top when it comes to wordsmithing. I'm probably in the top 10.
You think?
I'm probably, probably in there. I'm probably not lower than 10. I don't think I'd break that top 4-3 spot, but I'm in there.
Okay.
When it comes to wordsmithing. But when it comes to mathing, I'm ashamed to say that I made a big mistake.
And I'm ashamed to say I let it happen.
I am. So on yesterday's video, Miss Jessie's birthday, which was a fun video, by the way.
Yes.
It was, even though I did get a little choked up in a little bit there at the beginning, but that's okay. I explained that per Google, that donkey years are 3 years to 1 to a human. And I told you that Jessie was 9.
Yeah.
When actual Jessie is 6. Jessie's only 2.
That's right. And not only did I not catch it when you said it to me, and you explained to me that 1 donkey year is equivalent to 3 human years.
That's right.
And you said, and Jessie is 2.
Yeah.
So that makes Jessie 9.
Well, I don't think I actually said Jessie was 2. I just said Jessie was 9.
I think you said Jessie was 2 to me.
And I didn't even catch it when I edited the video. But the whole time, I had the number 3 stuck in my head because it was 1 to 3.
Yeah.
And so 3 was stuck in my head, and then my mind just said 3 times 3, which was 9. But Jessie's not 9.
Jessie is a human 6-year-old.
Yes, that is correct.
And we all make mistakes.
We all make mistakes.
Even 3 times 3 or 3 times 2 sometimes.
Even one of the top 10 wordsmiths out there even makes a mistake.
But we're just glad y'all caught it. Because if y'all hadn't caught it, something would have been wrong.
Oh, man.
Right?
That's right.
Yep. Sure got right past me.
Goodness.
I did not even think anything about it.
Just one of them moments, you just didn't. I just didn't catch it. But I did have that 3 on my mind, and I never did. And I just did 3 times 3.
It's okay.
3 times 3. Jessie's 6.
I think most everybody realized it was a mistake, and
I think a lot of people did the same thing I did. They just
went on about their business.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did too. But yeah, it was
certainly never occurred to me.
Oh my goodness! I think a lot of people, for the most part, I saw got a big laugh out of it.
Yeah, they did. They did.
I didn't see anybody that come down on me too hard.
No. Because you never wore a shirt that said I'm a mathematician.
I'm not a mathsmith.
That's right.
I've never stated I was a mathsmith ever. Mathsmith. But,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. I don't make many wordsmithing mistakes.
You don't?
I should have worn my wordsmith shirt today.
You should have.
That's what I should have. Except I think I'm going to put ing on the end of it.
Wordsmithing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like so.
Well, that makes it even more better, doesn't it?
Makes it more legit there. Yeah.
More better.
Yeah. It makes it more legit. Somebody said we don't see the fireworks no more and the balloons, and they cut that off. So I guess it was
like
I don't know who.
Test.
I don't know if it was Google or Apple. I don't know which one it is that did this. They did the whole thing here with that stuff, and they released this update and didn't really tell anybody. So when folks like us were doing lives, all of a sudden, balloons would pop up and fireworks and thumbs up, and then
rain,
but now they allegedly cut it off and you have to manually cut it back on. Facebook did it, somebody said. You have to manually cut it on.
So that means the YouTube people couldn't see it?
I think they saw it too.
Yeah, I think so too. So I don't think it was Facebook.
I don't know. Well, we're using this program that puts it out, but
maybe.
Anyways, it got turned off and you have to manually go turn it on now.
And that's just too complicated.
And I don't know how to do that really, but I guess I could. Yeah. I guess I could.
Well, what was so fun about it was when it accidentally happened.
Yeah.
Not when we were sitting here trying to make everybody,
That's right.
When we accidentally made the rain come down or the fireworks come off, that was fun.
I'm a wordsmithist. That's right.
Wordsmithist.
Wordsmithist. I like that.
Yeah.
Wordsmithist. That's why you don't see the fireworks and stuff anymore. I'd have to look into cutting that back on.
Yeah, it's probably just a simple button or two that you have to hit simultaneously to bring the fireworks back.
That's right.
Speaking of Jesse, so this morning, Honey was in the goat stall after I let them out, scrubbing all around.
Yeah.
I mean, doing a dust bathe.
Yeah.
That's not the best place to do a dust bathe, in the goat stall.
That's not a good spot.
So I was like, Honey, what are you doing? She didn't answer me. She didn't tell me what she was doing. So I went on out the gate and I go to get Capri to let her, let her out. And Jesse's out there in the middle of the pasture. So it must be like dust bathing time or something. She was going at it.
Well, I do know this. When I love on them and I always pet them, it's just a habit. And I get through and I go.
Dust flies everywhere.
And it looks like pig pen.
They put poof.
Off, Charlie Brown's, the Peanuts. Just every time. But I know it's in their best interest.
Yeah, well, It always scares me.
Oh, it will. And I tell you. All right, so Jesse does it. But, we ain't had horses in a long time.
That's right.
In a long time. And I will never forget. I fed Honey. And we just had gotten her.
Mm-hmm.
And I had fed her. And I set the bucket down. And she was eating or something like that. And I turned and she got through. I was in there with her. This is when we first came. We're trying to get them used to going in the stalls and stuff. So she got through. And so when she got through, I turned. And as soon as I turned, I heard plop, plop. You know how that metal barn is. Mm-hmm. And I saw her go down in the corner of my eye. And I looked like this. And there she is laying on her side. And it sounded like she just fell slap into the barn. And I thought, she's dead. Something just happened, So my heart stopped for, seemed like a minute. Of course it wasn't. Then she started doing all that, and I thought, she's having a seizure. Scared me for a second.
It always scares me every time I see it because they do not do it that often.
No, but then, of course, I sat there and I was like, oh, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Then she just pops up,
like
shakes it off. And I'm like, oh, she's just dust bathing.
Yeah,
she's just dust bathing.
It got me this morning when I saw Honey in that goat stall. It really startled me because
that's where she was. That's where she was when I got that.
Who wants to take a dust bath where the goats sleep at night? That's just, they got the whole pasture and there's dirt areas. Why in that area?
Yeah. But I tell you, Honey scared me. She did. I was like, oh my goodness. I thought she's got colic, she's colicking. But it wasn't, thank goodness. She's just dust bathing.
We get scared quite regularly by the little boy goats.
And Mo.
Mo's the worst. Mo lays flat.
Mo will lay out there in the middle of the sun, flat. And sometimes kind of halfway on the side a little bit, and the leg could be poking up. And you're just, oh my gracious. So you'll go honk the horn on the side by side or whatever. And most of the time, he's in deep sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So he don't pop right on up.
Right.
And then he really gets scared. And no matter how many times you've seen him do it.
Yeah.
Or the baby goats.
Right. It always startles you.
It always scares you. Always scares you. And then you get out there and they just pop up like nothing's wrong.
Yeah, Mo will look at you like, what are you calling my name for? I was sleeping so good.
Mo sleeps hard.
He does.
So much so you hadn't seen the video of Mo sleeping on Joe.
No.
Oh gosh, I posted it on Facebook today.
Mo sleeping on Joe.
Instagram. I didn't post it on YouTube yet, but I'm gonna let you guys. Let me show you this here. Dead asleep. Dead asleep. And then I put
Well, that's one few time that he slept, or either of them have slept here lately.
I put this bromance song with it too, because it was pretty.
It can't
funny.
be back that far, can it?
Oh, I got a lot of I do a lot of videoing on my phone.
Are you gonna find it?
I might be better going to Instagram or Facebook. Because it was pretty funny.
Did he have his head laying on him?
Brooke, you just gotta see this.
All right, just give us a minute. We're in a... See, this is what I'd be like if I did the lives by myself. I'd be just sitting here in silence.
I'll just do this right
here. You would not want to...
We're just gonna do this right here.
You never had. This could be the friendship that's gonna last. This could be the...
You gotta show it to them. I ain't see it anytime.
So what's funny is that Joe is snorting, doing all this.
That's why I can't believe they were both, or one of them was asleep.
And Mo is all the way up against him. And you can see Mo moving like this when Joe, and Mo never lifts his head up. But here it is right here.
You never had. This could be the friendship that's gonna last. This could be the promise you never had.
He is spitting and sputtering it.
Spitting and sputtering. And Mo never lifts his head up.
Oh my goodness.
Sleeping hard.
Silly boys. Yeah, Mo will scare you, that's for sure. But Joe has never done that to us.
No. I don't think Joe sleeps.
I don't think so either, because I can't name on one hand the times I've ever seen him laying down. Like,
I've never seen
like resting.
I've never seen him sleep. I've never seen. Mo sleeps a lot.
He does.
Joe.
He does not sleep.
Joe said he got a lot of rutting he got to do.
That's right. Funny men.
Oh,
funny men.
So yesterday, we got it, and they had broke through, and the little boys came over, and it was a mess, and so I fixed the fence back, and we had to cut the hot wire back on. Well, so something happened, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but I saw Joe with his head all the way through the fence, leaning up against the hot wire, and I was like, something's not working. Something's not working. So I went out there, I got my tester, and I was testing it, and when I was close to the charger, it was lighting up. But I was looking over there, and there's Joe rubbing all on it and doing his little... And I was like, well, something's wrong. And so I eyeballed it, and I looked, it was connected all the way around. So I got my tester, and I went down to the end and tested it there. And so what I ended up doing was unplugging it, and I just kind of tightened it up real good and make sure it wasn't touching anything anywhere else. And I don't know, spent about 30 minutes on it and hooked it back up, and I hooked the test light to it, and it was going good then. And Joe's not sticking his head through there no more.
Oh. Did you see him test the fence?
I did see him test the fence out, and he tested it, and I don't know why he does this, but so Mo was standing there. So Joe's like, look, Mo, the fence is not on. You can stick your head all the way through here and agitate these little boys over here with no problem. And then he realized real quick that the fence was back on.
Who, Joe did?
Joe did. So Joe, when he does, he jumps back and he looks at Mo and he acts like he blamed it on Mo. So then he rears up and tries to headbutt Mo. And Mo's like, man, what are you doing? I didn't have nothing to do with this.
That's funny.
So then I think he was like, maybe this was just a freak thing in this fence.
So he did it again?
So he had to try it again.
Oh, no.
So he tried it again. And then there's Mo standing there again. And he does the same thing. could tell Mo's like, what are you doing, man? I didn't do this. I had nothing to do with this fence.
What were the babies doing?
Oh, they wasn't doing nothing.
They were probably going.
They probably were laughing. They probably were laughing. But I haven't seen him stick his head back through there anymore.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
That was the ultimate goal, was for him to not stick his head back through.
Well,
there.
we didn't want the babies getting over there like they did, because it was it wasn't good, because
It wasn't good for the babies.
wasn't good for the babies at all, because
And they're really not.
and they're really small, and Joe's so big, and y'all get an idea what may have happened, and so we didn't need that. And
But the babies are not in any bit scared of the boys.
not at all.
I mean, they want to be there.
Not at all.
They're fine with crossing the fence, but we are not fine with them crossing the fence, because we know what would happen.
Yeah.
They're just too little, and it's best that they stay separate.
But poor Mo, he was like, what's going on? Why are you doing this to me? I had nothing to do with all this.
He thought he framed him.
Thought he framed him. Thought he played a practical joke on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you stand behind the corner, when somebody walks in the room,
No,
you get them real quick.
You know how you acted like you touched that fence that time. That's what you need to share. Matter of fact, when we were given all the animals the pears and apples the other day.
Yeah.
I thought that you were testing me, because I kept asking you, did you turn the fence off? Did you turn the fence off? And Jason wouldn't give me a straight answer. He was focused on what he was doing. And then he goes to go over the fence, and I thought, that crazy man hadn't cut the fence off yet.
I should have done it again.
Oh, no, you shouldn't have. I often wonder when things like that happen.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just say, like you scared me when I thought you touched the fence, and I thought it caused you to have some health issues. I wonder if that takes time off of our heart.
I don't.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, but that was the case, then riding a roller coaster would. And
Well, that's a thought too.
Riding a roller coaster when someone told you to ride the motorcycle part.
Oh
and
my gosh, y'all!
Not the little side cart.
Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember the newest Harry Potter
roller coaster
that my good friend Jacqueline had told me to ride in the side cart, and I probably no, she told me to ride the motorcycle.
She told you to ride the motorcycle.
Ride the motorcycle, because the side cart got the worst of the feeling on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
So I rode that motorcycle, and literally when I got off of it, you could see the imprint of
goodness.
me grabbing onto the handlebars, because I was so scared. I'm not doing anything like that anymore. If it does take years off your life,
yeah,
that I'm getting close, because that hit me in.
Oh, if that's the case, then the little scary houses they had there would have did me in, because they all got me.
No, see, stuff like that doesn't bother me, but that roller coaster.
Scare, I tell you, I know that one of them got me good in one of those scary houses, because
they did it again.
No, he started laughing so hard that and no telling how many folks he saw walk through there. But the fact, what my reaction was, got him pretty tickled. So much so that he was laughing really hard.
Well,
really hard.
But that's probably why I don't enjoy things like the little jumpy houses, the scary houses.
Yeah.
Because
they're all
like
jump
that
scares.
feeling.
They're all jump scares.
Well, the roller coaster is not a jump scare.
It's not a jump scare.
It's a scare.
Yeah.
And it hits you deep. I'm telling y'all, it hit me.
It's kind of like a jump scare, especially when you went on, like the old timey, the wooden roller coasters, like the Scream Machine
Jason,
at Six Flags in Atlanta.
I never ever have rode anything like that,
because this is what it does. You're on it and you're going up, and it goes click, 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 and it's so slow.
Well,
it's just click, 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 and when you get up there, the click and start slowing down. Click.
The rock and roll roller coaster makes that noise.
It's a.
I thought it clicked.
It don't click, 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 and it's a loud too. And you get up there, when that click stops, It's like a pause, just click, and it's just that pause right there.
And then it goes.
And then whoom, and then it's on. It's on.
I almost think that it might add years to your life.
Somebody said that they were told that it helps with arthritis.
My gracious, that would be wonderful. Wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I like it once it's done, you know, and I can talk about it and I can think back on, but I still say I wouldn't do it again. But then it was fun. Does that make sense?
That's right.
I just don't know if I like that feeling.
That's right. Somebody asked about the Tower of Terror at Disney World. We didn't ride that because Mary Carl wasn't big enough when we went to Disney. But there's one similar to that at Universal, and it's the Tower of Doom. I think that's what it's called. And because it's in Marvels, and it's Dr. Doom's Tower of Terror, free something. And it's similar to that. And y'all, I don't care how many times I ride that thing. It gets me every single time. And it's usually we ride it a lot because
there's no line.
There's really no line there. It's really no line at all. And you're just sitting there and you think you can time it. But you can't. You can't time it. And it's just, and then boom, it shoots you straight up in the air, and then you drop back down, and it does it a couple more times. But y'all, that first one gets you. And that's one of Mary Carl's favorites. And I bet we've ridden that thing 100 times.
I know you have, because I know everything about where I park my body to wait on y'all.
and there's 4 people that can fit on this thing. And I've been on that thing with, I don't know, 20 or 30 daddies that have never ridden it before. And they'll look at me and I'm going, and I tell them, yep, get ready. Get ready. And they'll say, is it bad? And I'm like, it's not bad, but it's going to get you. So get ready. And they're like, okay. And every time, I mean, they'll scream and holler. And I'm like, I told you it's going to get you. It will get you. It will, every time it'll get you.
See, it used to be that things like that made me sick.
Yeah.
Like I had to throw up afterwards.
Yeah.
But now I'm not so scared of being sick as I am just falling out, just passing out from sheer fear. I can't handle it. But Mary Carl's she's got the opposite.
Oh, Mary Carl loves them. Always has.
Loves it. Always
has. I can ride just about anything there is except, circles now. I can't do circles. And usually your big parks, unless you get on the teacups.
Yeah.
See,
Disney, that's what I can't do. I can't do teacups and stuff.
Disney, like that. Those, they don't have those now. Your county fairs, almost every one of them things does this.
And swings.
Yeah, the swings really got me because it goes in a circle. The last time I rode the swings with Mary Carl, I was bad.
Were we at Miracle Strip in Panama City?
No, we was at the fair in Selma, Alabama. I got on them little bitty swings with it, and it don't go fast or nothing. And I thought, if I'm not getting on anything else today, period. It was rough. And from that point forward, I would take a Dramamine when I go to the fair with her. But then she got to a point she didn't want to ride with Daddy no more. She wanted to ride with her little buddies.
But at Universal, there are no buddies, so you have to ride with.
I ride with her.
With Daddy. And I enjoy going to just hear them talk about it when they get off.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not riding it, it's fun to just go and see it and walk around.
We have a good time.
That makes me want to go back.
I mean, we have a good time.
Because she's about to be 15 in December.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only imagine that there's only going to be a couple of more years that she'll ever want to go.
That's true. The only thing circle at those I can do is like the Dumbo. The Dumbo ride.
Yeah, but it's been
Universal
so long
don't have the
since
Dumbo.
we went to Disney. I don't remember that.
They have the other thing, whatever it's called, and that I can do because it's not
it goes up and down, doesn't it?
But it's not like that tight circle.
Oh.
That tight circle will get you. Somebody said they're at Universal right now. Well, I hope y'all having a great time.
Is it crowded? I bet it's not because school's back. Well, I don't know. Labor Day's coming up, so
Labor Day
might be. It might be crowded.
But Every now and then I check that out just to see what the wait times are. I'm always curious to know sometimes. And I actually looked the other day and it wasn't that bad.
Well,
It wasn't that bad.
it's something that we enjoy.
Dollywood, though. I like to go to Dollywood. Somebody mentioned Dollywood.
You know, my thoughts are, well, every time we've ever gone to Universal has been during kind of like now.
Off season.
You know, kind of off season. Since Mary Carl's homeschool, we go during school and she can do her school at the hotel or when we get back or whatever. But I don't know. I think we're kind of spoiled. If we went somewhere like Dollywood, I guess we could go during school and it'd be the same.
But Dollywood's open now, isn't it?
Well, I was just thinking about the lines.
Oh.
Since there's not as many rides, it's probably more people.
I just don't know. I don't know.
We've gotten lucky.
Somebody said I think Dollywood closed a week or so ago.
Oh, really? So are they like closed for the season and only open during the summer?
I think they have a season.
Okay, that would make sense.
That would make sense.
It would.
Yeah.
But I cannot go to one of those Orlando parks in July anymore. It's just miserable.
Yeah.
To me. I mean, if you ever go when it's not so hot.
Yeah.
Then you realize how much more fun it is and you don't get so worn out.
I got you.
Don't you think?
Yeah, it didn't wear you out.
I mean, I understand some people have to go.
It will wear you out.
During the summer months, but it sure does make for a long day.
Hollywood has severe flooding.
Well, I saw that, but that was several weeks ago.
So it must be
closed.
I miss Opryland. I went to Opryland. I did. I went to Opryland with my mom and daddy. Sure did.
Well, I have never been to Opryland.
And the Opryland Hotel, we didn't stay there, but that was like, y'all, the Opryland for us, for me as a kid, that was like the pinnacle. I mean, it looked like, I don't know, like something out of a movie or something. And we went into the lobby and stuff and took pictures. And that was a big deal to go inside the Opryland Hotel. I can't imagine staying at the Opryland Hotel.
Is it still in existence?
They closed it down.
Really?
I think, is the hotel still open? Do y'all know if the hotel's still open? I know the park shut down. I'm sure the Opryland Hotel is probably shut down too.
Why would it be? Don't they still have the Grand Ole Opry?
They do have the Grand Ole Opry, so maybe so. For some reason, I thought in my mind it still is. So Opryland Hotel is still open. Oh my gracious! I have to look that up.
You know, I remember going to Six Flags, and I'm going to have to ask my mom about this because I don't know why we went. First of all, I don't ride rides.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember just being like you of the hotel, in awe of all the lights and it was just so big.
Yeah.
And so amazing at the time.
Yep.
But I don't know what we did all day because it was hot. I remember having a glow-in-the-dark necklace, so I must have left it dark, but I never rode anything. So what did we do?
I don't know.
I'm going to have to ask her about that. I
sure
don't remember.
They're saying Opryland has a water park now. I have to look into that. I wonder if the Opryland Hotel is still as grand and magnificent as I remember as a kid.
I kind of feel like that's a kid thing.
It could be.
Like me seeing Six Flags and being so amazed.
Yeah.
I think when you're a kid, when you see things for the first time, it's just a different light.
Oh, yeah.
Than when you're an adult.
I can tell you one right now that I can never forget.
What's that?
And that was my first ever Atlanta Braves game. Nanny and Granddaddy took me. And walking out into that ballpark and how big, especially as a kid.
Yeah.
How big it looks. It was mind blowing to me.
I can't remember how old I was when I saw the first Braves game.
In person?
Yeah.
I was little. Dale Murphy was playing outfield. If that tells you how long ago.
My daddy took Jessica King and me. And we drove there and back in one day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was.
I remember us eating at Mr. Waffle in like Atlanta, and it was like 10 o'clock that night. And we were still, had to go home.
Yeah.
That might be my first game.
And that's the old Atlanta, what is it called? The Fulton County Stadium?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. The old one? Before they tore it down. But yeah, I will never forget that first Braves game. And I remember hollering at Dale Murphy because we were out there in left field. And he looked up He didn't wave or nothing, but just the fact he looked up, I was happy.
Now,
happy.
I was little when I went to my first Alabama football game, and I remember that being amazing.
The first Alabama football game I went to was at Legion Field.
No, I've never been to Legion Field.
Yep. Bobby Humphrey was the running back.
Wow.
That tells you how long ago that
So
was.
you probably went before me.
Oh, Bobby Humphrey.
Gosh, I guess the first time I ever went to a Braves game was with Jessica. Because I just don't remember it before then.
Yeah.
You and I have been.
Yeah, we been.
But I guess that was the first time. I probably was 13 or so.
They're still saying that the Opryland Hotel is still beautiful, and at Christmas time, it's unreal.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that far from us, is it?
Nashville, I think it's...
Is it in Nashville?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Mary Carl and I went through Nashville. That's where we stopped.
I think it's 6 hours to Nashville.
And it was snowing when we went to Kentucky and Nashville.
I think so. I may be wrong on that, but I think it's 6 hours from snowing. Does Alabama play this weekend? Yes. The first game of the season at 6 p.m.
Yes. Jason, first thing I asked him was what time, because I needed to know.
And I'm sure that's Central Time. It's got to be Central.
But they don't play anybody big, do they?
Kentucky. Mm-mm. But it's still got a new coach.
Well, I know sometimes the first game of the year can be a big game.
It can, but this year's Western Kentucky.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but it is not going to be. Then we got South Florida, which will be a tough game. And then we got to go on the road to Wisconsin. And then we got the number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs.
Is that the 4th game of the year?
4th game of the year.
Whew. That's a tough one.
Yeah, and it don't get any easier.
Oh, goodness.
No, the SEC is crazy, especially with Texas and Oklahoma in the SEC now. That's crazy. It's crazy.
We have a fly in case y'all see something buzz by. It's not a what do they sometimes call them?
No, it's about to drive me nuts.
It is. It just decided it wants to stay right here.
Won't leave us alone. So I showed y'all a picture of Sprinkles in the last live, which was our white Arabian horse. And so it must have been memories of me. We must have just got Sprinkles when we were taking a bunch of pictures, because the next day, this one showed up on my memories. And it is Mary Carl and Sprinkles. And y'all look at Mary Carl. Look how little she was right there. And look at her little boots. That's for them pink John Deere boots that we got probably from the co-op.
Yep.
Right there.
And she probably picked out that turquoise colored halter too.
She probably did pick out that turquoise right there. I was trying to see what shirt she had.
She's got sunglasses on.
She had sunglasses on. Look at there.
What year was that? Does it say?
I think it was 12-ish.
So she was 3.
Yeah. Right there.
3 years old. Wow.
That was a long time ago.
Well, it really wasn't, but then when you think about it and you think back and try to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Gracious.
Oh. So I had, I don't know how many people I had send me this picture, but got me to thinking it. If we get a new lawnmower anytime soon or in the future, I already got one picked out. I got my mindset on.
Do y'all know what he means by lawnmower?
They call it something different.
Are you talking about a horse?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about a for real lawnmower that cuts grass.
Okay, so I thought since you were talking about a horse, we were getting a new lawnmower.
No, not one of them kind. So I got my dream lawnmower right here, and I had so many people send me this.
And I saw it too, but I didn't share it with you.
And I mean, this is perfect, y'all. Look at this. Look at this right here. Now that is a Smokey and a Bandit lawnmower right there. And whoever did this was genius.
Thinking, wasn't they?
Were they not? Look at that. Oh my gracious.
I guess they wanted one of those cars like you wanted, and they just couldn't get them one. So next best thing.
Not everybody's got $40,000 to blow on a 1979.
Ornament,
Right? So
you can dream, right?
Could paint my lawnmower black and put that Firebird on the hood right there.
Well, you sure got me because I thought you were talking about a horse on a lawnmower.
I can get my cowboy hat on and my red button-down shirt,
and you could go to town.
And I can go to town. Then I could, Michael Key could get one like the Snowman, his 18-wheeler. We could get CB radios.
Yeah. You do that, Jason.
Oh my goodness.
You
so much
get
fun.
all the grass cut.
So much fun. All the grass cut.
Interesting.
I bet it don't go fast though.
I bet it don't either.
I bet it don't go fast.
Michael might beat you.
Michael probably would beat me.
Well, I could have a horse that's another kind of lawnmower, and we could race. I bet mine would win.
Oh, you reckon?
I bet so.
Oh, me.
I bet so. So yesterday, my friend came. Well, let's see.
Oh, goodness.
I had a friend down the road, and she told me about a sale that was happening.
A grand sale.
A grand sale.
And you can't find it.
Oh, I found it. And look, we took a picture. So you can imagine what we came home with. I couldn't help myself. They were on sale, and I got a call. And I had already made a couple of trips to town.
Yep.
Well, she bought these chicks at 50% off. And she told me about them. But what she then told me was she got shorted one. And I told her I wasn't going back to town. I'm not going back to town today. But then she said she got shorted one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when my wheels started turning. I said, you know what? I said I wasn't going back to town. But what I meant was I wasn't going back to town alone. So I said, hey, you want me to come get you? She said, sure. I said, because I want to go get some. So Catherine and I went to Tractor Supply and got some chicks. And I will show y'all what kind on an upcoming video.
Catherine got you.
Catherine got me. I couldn't help it. I wish that I had gotten or could have gotten more well summers when I got those.
Yeah.
They only had 5. And I really wanted dark eggs. And I said I wasn't going to buy anything else unless it laid dark eggs. But I told a story. I already got the brooder going.
The barred rock egg is, it's not dark, but it is still a brown egg.
You just told what I got.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
It's okay.
Whoops.
It's okay. She told me that Tractor Supply had one of Jason's favorite chicks.
I did mess up, then I let it slip.
It's all right. And I said, what is that? And she said, barred rocks. And I said, I'm not going back to town. But then when she told me they shorted her one, I made an exception. And they're doing well. They're doing very well. I put them in with the well summers.
Mm-hmm.
Well summers were a little bit bigger, so I didn't really know how that was going to work out. But it's fine. They're perfectly fine. They are all getting along, and it's not enough age difference to make a difference.
You can still show them in your video.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
No worries.
Even though I messed up the surprise.
You did not mess up. Don't worry about it. I thought somebody said that a barred rock laid a.
No, I just.
It's fine.
You
It's
get
perfectly
one
fine.
in?
I don't have a picture of them anyway, so I couldn't show them. That's all I had.
Oh my goodness.
But the Rhode Island Reds are getting very big, very fast.
Oh man, the Rhode Island Reds are, they're.
So you know what that means. We're gonna have to put the door back on.
Yeah.
In the mobile chicken coop.
Yeah.
And move them out probably in the next week or 2.
I agree.
They're not too big for the brooder right now. I want to keep them in there as long as I can, but they are starting to make a mess and be too many for too closed in of an area.
Yeah.
That room comes in handy.
That room is, yeah, you're right. That room is.
It's
awesome.
so nice to have it already ready.
Mm-hmm.
And all we got to do is take, grow outs from point A to point B.
Yep.
Now, I had somebody ask me, how do I keep my older chickens from killing the younger chickens?
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily, like what I bought yesterday, because they didn't mix those together. But like the Rhode Island Reds, when I introduced them to the chickens, how do I keep them from it?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, we've always, since we've been here anyway, we've always used that room, and we put them in there where they can see the bigger ones can see them. And when we let them out, they establish a pecking order, but it's never anything violent.
Right.
It's just a little, hey, I've been here longer than you, get on out. And this particular person that reached out to me said that they had some deaths occur
Mm-hmm.
from the older chickens actually,
Picking on other ones.
Actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I can say is maybe they're not close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we at the old farm, we would use a dog kennel from time to time, a big, huge dog kennel, and put them in with in the run
Mm-hmm.
with the chickens and let them see them, get familiar with them, and then release them. So that's a good way to introduce them if you don't have a way to separate them.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Somebody wanted to know, would we ever raise our own meat chickens? We actually did that for 5 years.
Yes.
And we actually raised them for these high-end restaurant and a high-end catering service in a metropolitan city. It was about an hour and a half away from us. And they wanted them from us because we raised them in the woods. They were forest raised meat chickens, and they were free range. And we did that for 5 years, basically 100 every 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
And of course, when COVID hit, everything shut down, including them, and they never could get back rolling again. And so we lost that account, and we were about burn out at the time too.
Yeah, it was I mean, we're not afraid of hard work by all means, but it was getting to be, Jason had absolutely no free time whatsoever.
Yeah.
His weekends were consumed by taking care of chicken keeping.
Yeah.
And Mary Carl was little, so every time she got to see him was spent working. And we didn't like that.
Yep.
I mean, drink again.
Uh-oh. Goodness gracious.
That means I've been talking too much.
Oh, AC/DC was I don't ever say it. I am Samani. Is that right?
That's how we say it.
That's how we say it. That's how the wordsmith says it.
Says it. ...
...
And Michael Key would help us with those.
Michael Key, I mean, he was the best farm help ever.
Yeah, we knew we needed help, and boy, did he fill those shoes.
He did.
And we were thankful for that.
He did. But yeah, we just kind of got burnt out on it. And I'll tell y'all saw my video, I don't know, the other week, where I was trying to, I don't know, answer the question, what exactly were we? Were we a farm? We're not a farm. We're this and that. And some people don't think we are because we don't farm our animals. And I'm telling y'all, it seems like the older I get, the harder and harder and harder it is for me to do that. And we bought 2 pigs when we first moved here, and we put them out there in the garden area and moved them around, and they did an amazing job. And I pretty much fed and watered them and took care of them almost every day. And that was hard. That was a very, 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 very hard day on me when we had to load them up. And I told you then I couldn't do it no more.
Well, I mean, we're not ignorant. We know where our food comes from.
Absolutely.
And that's the question you get asked when you shy away from raising your own farm animals for food. Do you not know where your meat comes from? You do, but it's a difference.
It was just, I mean,
to us, it was.
it just was hard. I just got
attached to them.
And I can't do it without getting attached to it.
And that's what's different for us.
And so I totally get it. When we do eat meat and we know where our meat comes from, we buy it from local farmers. But as for me trying to do it, I couldn't. I can't do it anymore. I mean, if I had to, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if something went crazy and the grid shut down and we had to live off our land, sure. But
that's a different situation.
Yeah, that's a different situation. But I can't do it like we used to do it anymore. I can't. It's just too hard for me.
And everybody is created differently.
Absolutely. And I don't look down on people that do it. I mean, whatsoever. I mean, I totally understand it. But as for me,
well, and me too. There's no way I can have an animal out there that I feed every day and have a name, and then me take it somewhere. Right. I can't do it.
It's just tough. It's just tough.
And I'm sure that we would have a lot more followers, so to speak, if we did. But
I'm sure
that's not what it's about to us. We just can't do it. And we are what we are.
That's right. So. But and I know a lot of people have asked about those pigs, but I'm gonna, and I probably at the time should have said what happened, but it was so hard on me when that happened that
you don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it. I did not want to talk about it. I did not. And I had mentioned it a few times in the video, in the live, that they went to the processor, but I did not want to talk about it.
And I actually took them.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I took them. And of course, they do all the unloading and such, but it was just the fact that he couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
And right then and there, we decided that if we couldn't consume something that we raised, then it was no point in doing it.
Somebody said that their daddy became the same way as he got older and he gave up hunting. And I don't know why that is. I guess maybe you just get, I don't know, softer when you, I don't know.
And no hard feelings between anybody that can do it.
Yeah, I have no hard feelings whatsoever. None. As long as it's done
humanely,
the proper way. If they're raised the proper way and it's all humanely and ethical and they're treated right, absolutely. Now the factory farming and the way they do that, and the pigs don't go outside and they stay on concrete all the time.
That's a whole nother
and chickens never see daylight and all that. That's terrible. Terrible. And yeah, it's that should be outlawed.
That's right.
But anyways,
we can't do anything to change that.
No, we can't.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
we can't do anything to change that.
Laura seemed to make it, said they have a hard time. She agrees.
Yep.
They raise their own beef. Yep.
And they did raise their own pigs for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And where we buy our meat from, we know it was taken care of, raised humanely.
Yep.
And we're thankful for those people.
Yeah. And I used to go hunting. My dad was a big hunter. And I used to go hunting with my dad. And but I couldn't do it now. It's crazy. But we all change and evolve. That's just how life goes.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
That is how life goes. I still need that lawnmower. Right there. Mike, I'm telling you, I saw Mike on here. Mike, I'm telling you, you need to get the snowman one. And we get us some CB radios, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I miss CB radios. I miss CB radios. I love CB radios. I remember going camping with Nanny and Granddaddy, and he had the camper, and he had that CB radio in there. And I would love listening to them truckers talking. Every now and then, Granddaddy would get on there, and I don't even know what Granddaddy. I'm assuming he had a handle. They all had handles, and that was your name. That was your nickname. And I'm like, that's why he's called Snowman on Smoking the Man. That's his nickname. And that's why he's called Bandit. But I miss CB. I loved CB radios. But I guess if you bought one now, you probably wouldn't hear nothing. I wonder if truckers still use CB
I'm sure
radios.
They probably do, because they have to be able to communicate with all the other truckers. Wouldn't you think?
I guess so. Because you think you got cell phones now, but you wouldn't know, the guy, 3 miles ahead or 10 miles ahead.
His phone number.
To call his phone number and let him know there's a police up there. You better slow down.
Oh,
somebody said their handle was River Rat. That's what my parents used to call me when I was a kid.
River Rat.
We loved going to the river, and you couldn't get me out of it.
Somebody said truckers still do use CB radio.
Still have CB radios.
I figured they would.
I figured they would too. I'm wondering, you used to have to go to Radio Shack to buy a CB radio, but now,
who knows where you go?
I need to get one now.
You think about getting one in your truck?
I wonder if I could get one. You know how I could be entertained? I could never watch TV again if I had one in the house.
Oh, Jason.
I could just sit there and listen to them truckers talk on the 65.
Well, here's what you could do. You could say, Mary Carl, you ready for CB time? You think she'd come running?
Yeah, probably so.
Ready for CB time?
Oh, goodness.
Well, she'd probably be quite amused too.
Yeah.
Y'all are pretty much alike.
They are kind of. They're on Amazon. I figured Amazon would have them.
Amazon, yeah. That's right.
I figure. I wonder if I could. I probably couldn't. I'd have to put me a probably big old tower.
Well, I wonder if the service is better now. The signal.
I don't know.
Well, they came out with those push to talk. What was it called? Phones. We had one.
Southern Link's what we call
Southern
it.
Link, yeah. That was the company.
Yeah. Sneaky Pete. Everybody's telling what their handles were. Blue Angel. Look at this. Little
my
Joe.
Goodness.
Oh, that's so funny. Heartbreaker 19.
How about that?
Look at all the handles coming up. Fox Hunter.
My handle was
Friendly Sport. Next, that wasn't their handle.
Nextel.
Nextel is what they're telling what the BB was.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You gotta fix it where I can view these comments because I want to be able to read what their handle was.
Somebody said Hambone, Moonflower, Sweet Thing,
Sweet Stuff,
Happy Hoofer. Look at all of them. Dragon.
Oh, gracious.
I love it.
Well,
I love it.
now
Little
we know
Devil.
we need a CB radio. We can talk to y'all.
I don't signal wouldn't be that great. Oh man, I think you'd have to have a pretty big, because how far is from where the crow flies? About 10 miles?
Where?
65.
Oh, well, it's 7 miles by. No, it's not that far, Jason.
5 miles?
It's probably not 5 miles.
I may could pick up the truckers driving down 65.
By the crow flies, it's probably 3 miles.
I could get the Google map and plot it and see. Bo Peep.
Bo Peep.
Prairie Dog.
Oh my goodness. So we got to come up with a handle before we get a
Lady Lightning. Buttercup.
Before we get our CB radio.
Oh goodness, Miss Sandy, I'm not gonna say yours.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gracious.
That's funny. CB radio. Jason had one in a truck that he had when you were what, 18,
had
19?
An old Ford F-150. Didn't have cell phones.
Didn't have cell phones.
But a couple of our buddies had CB radios.
And you had one.
I did.
That's the only time I've ever used one or known of anybody to use one.
Cherry pie. Blue.
That's funny.
That's funny. Sandy. I wonder how old Sandy is now. what her name used to be. Oh, Sandy, you got me tickled. Oh that? Goodness. The YouTube people can't see what Sandy said, but I'm not gonna repeat it.
It'll be a mystery. Because I don't know what it was either.
I think my handle will be Wordsmith.
You think Wordsmith? Mine will be Herdsmith.
Oh me.
Wordsmith and Herdsmith.
Oh goodness.
Come on.
Oh.
Come on.
Sandy was on Facebook, so the YouTube people. Oh, they said YouTube. Maybe she was on there. I thought she was on Facebook. Maybe she was. Huh. She said on YouTube. Never mind. I'm sorry. That was funny. Oh, Sandy. When I hear the name Sandy, you know what I think about? Grease, the movie Grease. Every time. That name reminds me of, because that was her name, Sandy. Yeah. John Travolta singing, "So Sandy."
All right, y'all. Good video coming out tomorrow.
Yes.
Good video coming out tomorrow. Jason's got to finish editing.
I do.
And I don't know what we're going to eat. Honestly, I don't.
My stomach's fixing to growl.
Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I got a few things thought out, so it's going to come to me.
Yep.
It's going to come to me. So what are y'all eating first?
What's for supper?
I have some sirloin tips,
Yeah.
some ground beef, and
Yeah.
some chicken. So we can have one of those three. But let me tell y'all what we had last night. We don't know what we're having tonight, but last night we had blackened tilapia tacos.
Fish tacos.
It was so good. Jason
It was
whipped
pretty
up
good.
some sauce to go on it.
Mm-hmm.
We had some avocado chopped up and some slaw on them. It was good. It makes me want it again tonight.
Some cilantro, fresh lime squeezed over the top of it, barbecue meatballs.
I guess we could do the same thing with the sirloin tips.
Hamburger gravy and mashed potatoes. I'm sorry. Yeah, we could do that, couldn't we? We could make tacos out of those, couldn't we? We really could.
I don't know if that sauce would be good on it though. It's kind of like a fish sauce, isn't it?
I don't know. We can always put sauce on there though. Michael having spaghetti. What was the mushroom? Mushroom soup.
Mushroom soup.
Mushroom soup. Fish sandwich and strawberries.
All righty then.
Look at the food coming. I'm hungry too. Chili mac. Oh, we had sloppy joes this week.
We did. We had sloppy joes. Y'all made us think about that and brought back some old memories.
Sure did. It was so good.
And it was easy. For a quick meal.
Well, y'all, we thoroughly enjoyed our time with you guys this evening.
That's right.
We hope to see y'all tomorrow on the new video. Well, y'all hope to see us in the new video. I didn't say that right.
No, that's why your words, man.
That's right. But as always, y'all be good.